in a disciplined fashion, and she was very ecstatic to be able to deliver for India yet again.
Right, India requires 99 runs to win of the 20 overs at 4.95 runs per over. We're going to take a short break. We hope you'll join us for the India chase.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
A new season of the Champions League. With more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
And Mbappe puts it into the back of the net. On with another goal.
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network. The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup live on 10 Cricket.
UFC Fight O'Clock. Only on Sony Sports Network.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
Ah, Christmas. A peaceful period. Time to pause and reflect. Time to come together. But it's not time for that yet.
These two teams will not give each other anything.
Giving will have to wait. Get something for yourself.
Florian Wirtz. Wow.
Fulfill your wishes and make it a magical Christmas now.
Oh, that's stunning. That's incredible.
Bayern 04 Leverkusen versus SC Freiburg.
Only on Sony Sports Network. The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup live on 10 Cricket.
A new season of the Champions League. With more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
And Mbappe puts it into the back of the net. On with another goal.
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network.
UFC Fight O'Clock.
It's India up against Sri Lanka today in the ACC Women's Under-19 Asia Cup 2024 Super Fours match. And they've been set a target of 99 by Sri Lanka to try and win this match. They're already table toppers, remember, are India, and a win today pretty much seals the fate for both the sides. India would, of course, ensure that they are through to the final if they win today. Sri Lanka, their fate will be sealed, and they won't be able to qualify for the final today if they were to lose. This is what the Sri Lankan batting card looks like. They were put into bat. Sumudu making 21, the captain Nanyakara making 33, the top scorer. Only the two batters to get into double digits for Sri Lanka, and that was the problem for this side. When you look at the highest partnership, it was for the fifth wicket for 22 runs, and they added another 21 for the sixth wicket. Just tells you that apart from that, there was nothing really to write home about in that Sri Lankan batting lineup. 4 wickets for Ayushi Shukla, bettering her performance a couple of days ago, where she'd taken a 3-4. Today, a 4 for 10 in her 4 overs. 2 wickets for Parunika Sisodia as well, and a wicket apiece for Shabnam the pacer and Dhriti the off-spinner. And 11 extras. Maybe that's one aspect that the Indian bowlers would look to curtail. Otherwise, they've been absolutely spot on. It's been a top-notch bowling effort. 7 bowlers used by the captain, including herself. But 98 put on the board by Sri Lanka may not be enough to challenge a very strong Indian batting lineup, who have to chase just 99 to ensure themselves a spot in the final. Ishwari Avsare is out there to open the batting for India, so there is a change in the Indian batting order as well. They tried out bowling options. They have now made a change in the batting order as well. Ishwari to open the batting along with Kamalini, who's at the other end. Trisha, remember, got a half century in the previous game. She's not opening today. Interesting story here. 52 runs to Kamalini's name, and she looked to add to that tally. In the commentary box, I'm Raman Bhanot, and a warm welcome to Anisha Ghosh.
Thank you, Raman. Rashmika Sevanthi expectedly opening the bowling for the Sri Lankan under-19s. A paltry total to defend, just 99 for India to seal their place into the final, which will be played on Sunday with an early morning start.
Right, plays the call from the umpire, and we're all set to go in the run chase. Ishwari on strike. Rashmika Sevanthi to send down the first ball. Wayward from the batter, just flirting with danger there, hanging the bat loosely away from the body. Ishwari, just lucky she doesn't get the outside edge.
It's good to see Ishwari being asked to open the batting, and Jeet Rasha, who scored a 50, an eye-catching one at that, slotted down the order. Lots of tinkering with the bowling earlier in the day, and here they have gone in with a change in the batting order as well.
And the focus here is to ensure that some of the other batters who haven't had a go so far in this tournament get an opportunity to bat. Ishwari's been included in the side, Ishwari Avsare, and being given a look in. And I think that's been the philosophy of the Indian team management. Credit to the coaching staff and the think tank. The fact that they've got a player in the playing 11, then get the player to play and perform their role. Either as a batter or as a bowler, if you're playing them. Oh, this could be a run out. And India lose their first wicket. A horrible mix-up. Ishwari set off for the single. Kamalini wasn't interested. They were within handshaking distance of each other. And Sri Lanka, really, they've been gifted a wicket here.
Nothing to show for her promotion for Ishwari Avsare. A horrible mix-up in the middle, right in the opening over. Sees the end of her. India lose their first wicket of just the second delivery. A tap and run. The fielder was very alert to it. Clean pick-up and throw. Well collected by Sumudu, and she has to depart without bothering the scorers. She was down pretty much the halfway mark. And Ishwari Avsare will have to say goodbye to this innings.
India none for one. Sanika Chalke walks in at number 3. Again, you feel that she hasn't had too many runs against her name. Another mix-up in that calling between wickets. But the simple age-old adage, don't run off the misfield if the ball's close to the fielder.
And this was a look at the last wicket. An early breakthrough for the Sri Lanka under-19s without sort of breaking a sweat. Ishwari set off for a run. Yes and no and eventually sorry. Oh, that was an absolute brain fade.
Hit away for runs here. That's played well by Sanika Chalke. It'll be four. A confident looking shot on the first runs come up on the board for India. And as a batter, it's going to give you a lot of confidence if that's your first scoring shot.
That should inject some calm and confidence into the middle as far as the India under-19s are concerned. A flurry of activity happened the previous few deliveries. And here was Sanika Chalke telling, I've got this.
India have lost the opening batter twice so far in this tournament. In the opening over, G. Trisha, remember that first game against Pakistan, and today, thanks to a run out, they've lost the wicket of Ishwari. End of over number 1, India 4 for 1.
A new season of the Champions League, with more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new Kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network.
Been a boost. They've got that wicket of Ishwari. Thanks to that run out. Probably lack of communication there. The ball played behind the stumps. Generally, when the ball's going behind the stumps, it's the non-striker's call. And I think there was a start taken by Kamalini as well, who then decided against it. Chamudi, meanwhile, the left arm spinner has started her spell.
Like the Indian bowling attack, Raman, Sri Lanka too have a lot of variety in their bowling contingents, a lot of options for Manudi to resort to.
Played confidently off the back foot by Sanika. By Kamalini, I beg your pardon, for a single that's going to get Sanika on strike. Two left-handers at the crease. And yet Sri Lanka have opted for the left-arm spinner. And again, Chamudi, 1 wicket so far in this tournament. Best bowling effort of 1 for 35. Diminutive figure. But the captain's put her trust by handing the new ball from one end to her.
Don't judge the book by its cover, they say.
She's got a good armour. The fact that she's going to be, despite bowling with the new ball, she's bowling slightly slower through the air. That's an interesting move. I wonder if that's just a variation, or will she be doing that more consistently? Because Sanika likes to attack, gets the top edge, another wicket. That's what I was saying, that Chamudi was releasing the ball slower through the air, and that's got her the wicket. By not pushing the ball quicker, she's enticed the mistake from the batter.
Sri Lankan bowlers are getting the inroads done and made in style. 2 early wickets down for the India under-19s. It's not a tall total they are chasing, but they have not been adapting to the conditions well, and Sanika Chalke has to depart.
Well, they've out-thought the batter here. That's clever bowling from Chamudi, taking the pace off. Sanika Chalke gone for 4. India in a spot of bother, now 5 for 2. G. Trisha walks out into the middle. Now, this young batter got a half century in the previous game. Second highest run getter before the start of this match in the tournament. G. Trisha, very capable batter. And she walks out into the middle with India in a difficult position at the moment. Not too much to chase, remember, 99 to get to win this match, but you're 5 for 2. And generally, Trisha opens the batting. The reason why she's here at 4 is because of this.
Inspired start from the Sri Lanka under-19s. Nice and easy catch. And off went Sanika Chalke.
No runs for the taking there. It's been a tidy over. Just a single off it and a wicket. It's 5 for 2. There's Trisha and Kamalini out there in the middle for India. Nikki Prasad, the captain, still to come. They've played Bhavika today as the keeper back. She's slotted to come in at number 6. There's Mithila Vinod, who can bat. But then you get into the bowlers, so it'll be interesting. I think this partnership is going to be very crucial for India. On the full, driven well in the gap. That's a confident looking shot from Kamalini. And she's going to get 4.
Shaking off the jitters with that boundary played along the carpet nicely. And G. Kamalini will get her first boundary of this innings. She was not amongst the runs in the previous game. Played an ill-advised and ill-judged lap. But here she is. Took the ball on the full and caressed it through the covers.
Bad ball as well from Rashmika. You've had a great overboard from the other end from Chamudi. The idea now is to keep the pressure up, bowl the dot deliveries. Because the power play is on, remember, these two batters have the capability to get the boundary hits going. That's a better length. Just pull the length back a tad. Line could have been a little better, but the previous over, the wicket that went down, Chamudi said it before that she was bowling slower through the air. She was not, despite bowling with the new ball, not bowling quicker, not pushing the ball through the air. And we'll talk about it, try and show you the dismissal after this ball. Play and a miss. The important story there was when you look at that replay of the shot that Sanika has played, she goes for the slog sweep and the ball's not arriving. So she is there, she's into the shot and it's hit the toe end of the bat because she's almost through with the shot. And it's therefore hit the toe end of the bat, the top edge, and a simple catch in the slip. So clever bowling.
The Indian batters put under some pressure early in this chase.
Clipped away, it's played well. Off her legs, this should be another couple of runs. Yes, good running as well. 2 more to Kamalini.
Nicely flicked off the bats by G. Kamalini. It's scurried over towards the rope in fine leg. Limansa, Tilakaratne kept that to just 2. A bit of a cause of concern for India in this tournament has been the fact that their batters, their middle order has not been tested, and today serves the perfect opportunity for their middle and lower middle order batters to put their hand up alongside, of course, this very capable opener in G. Kamalini.
Well, these two batters would tell you that we are not done yet. Don't talk about the middle order while the 2 of us are still out there. One of them got a half century in the previous match, so she'd be saying, hang on, we're still around.
And she's easily got one of the most eye-catching on-drives in the business. She would be looking to unfurl those conventional strokes along with the ingenious stroke play she's known for as well.
In the air, and just wide of the fielder. And she'll get 4 here, will Kamalini, but that was a shot that was fraught with danger. And that'll end the over as well. They've got 10 from it. It's 15 for 2. Rashmika, 2 overs, 14 runs given away. From the other end, Chamudi, 1 over, just that single and a wicket. Well, Rashmika could have had a wicket to her name. You know, at times those numbers can deceive. Suddenly, if that last ball had gone to hand, then those figures would have read 2 overs, 1 for 10.
Well intercepted by Hiruni at the covers. A look at that G. Kamalini boundary. Threw her hands at that very wide delivery, bisected the fielders. It was in the air briefly, but all hopes of a catch dissipated quickly enough because It went at rocket speed. J. Kamalini, mind you, is coming off a very prolific home season. Was the highest run getter in the Tri-Series in Pune that also featured the South Africa under-19s. G. Trisha, on the contrary, had a bit of a lull period leading into this tournament, but she was the first Indian batter to score a 50 in this tournament. So she's turning the tide for herself. Can she do it for her team today as well?
It's an important phase of the game, because she'll have to mix caution with aggression, and I think the same goes for Kamalini as well. She's at the non-strikers end as Kamalini. You talked about her form in that Tri-Series. I'll go back a little further and talk about her form for her state side when she was playing for Tamil Nadu. Had a great season, was a top run getter for Tamil Nadu during the previous season. That's hit down the ground. It's hit high, and has that gone the distance? Has gone for maximum.
It went miles and miles away. A lot of hang time to that skier, but it was hit so well and with such elegance inside out by G. Trisha that all the fielders in the infield could do was look at it and admire.
Safe shot, because mid-off was up, so she knew she could hit through the line. All she had to do was clear the infield. In fact, got good connection on that.
Solid front foot defense following up on that stroke, the up and over inside out drive. And she's got this variety, you know, she's a very elegant stroke maker, can inject power in her shots, maneuver the field very quick between the wickets.
I think the term here to use for the way she's batting is controlled aggression. That's the end of the over. 4 gone. It's 21 for 2.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
Would have concerns. And in the background too, not looking too good. 5 overs need to be completed for the match to be considered officially done. So just another to go. No worries on that regard, Dev.
I'm not a weather forecaster, but I reckon we'll be right for the first game. And that's a very good shot by Kamalini. Look at that. Beautiful time. Over long off. Maximum.
Well, after the stutters with the 2 wickets going down early, this is belligerent hitting by Kamalini. 17 of 9 balls. Have a look at this. What up? Look at that. What a beautiful looking shot. So it's pleasing to the eye. Poetry in motion.
Well, that's right. It was full of confidence. Mid-off was up. So she's taken full advantage of the vacant real estate behind her.
And the little adjustment she makes, waiting for that ball to come on, and she slaps it to the cover boundary. This is tremendous batting here by Kamalini.
Well, as normally happens when you hit a bowler back pass over the head, they drag it short a little bit. Kamalini was waiting for it, and a lovely back foot shot. It looks like a bit of a cut shot to me. Let's have a look. It's shortish. Oh, lovely. Back foot cut drive through the covers, all along the ground. Wonderful shot.
Just the manner in which she executed that shot, taking a leg away, being pretty balanced, opening up the whole of the cover area for her to pick her spot on. Looking very threatening now. Matsara under duress. Kamalini has been exceptional right through this tournament. Already 21 of 10. Been very impressive, Dev.
Except for that one indiscretion when he got out for a duck last game.
Give her that, Dev, please. Can't have a big score every match.
Quite right. No, we are all forgiving because she's made a lot of runs prior to that. But the strike rate also is just wonderful, isn't it? Where are we?
Oh, well, something for the bowlers to be happy about. You're beating the bat, but unfortunately, from the bowling team's perspective, it goes for 4 byes.
That's 4 big runs and not what the doctor ordered for the Sri Lankan team. But yes, Kamalini 44 not out that first game, and then 8 not out. Well, that turn too. Beat the batsman, beat the wicketkeeper, and went straight down to the boundary.
Vagaries of the game. You bowl a super delivery, you beat the bat, beat the keeper, but it's gone against, well, your team's name. It's not going to go against her analysis, but whatever.
Clock. Only on Sony Sports Network.
Well, early wickets. Ishwari, without bothering the scorers, was run out to a mix-up. Sanika tried to take the better of Chamodi and got out for 4. But since then, there's been a good partnership. In quick time, 30 of 20 balls.
Yeah, and Trisha, who's coming hot off her previous innings of a half century, unbeaten, is now on 6 with 1 shot, I have to say. There's 7 dots, 1 shot that went all the way for 6.
Aseli into the attack. Talagune. She really, essentially what needs to do is try and bowl some.
I say she's picked up a single and a double, and she's a wicket taker. So she's had wickets in the previous games that she's played. So they're hoping, Sri Lanka's really hoping that she'll do the business here.
Oh, that looks threatening. You know who's going to be worried about that sky? Maybe not these 2 teams. It'll be Bangladesh and Nepal. We're going to lock horns in the second game. It's very interestingly poised, the standings. That's hit with a lot of clout. Tremendous shot. Wow. Take that, she says.
That's the second lusty blow we've seen from Trisha. And she's picking the right ball to hit. There hasn't been too many, singles or doubles. There's been a lot of dots, and then whack. She has got some power, Shamim.
Sure has. And the lovely use of the feet. Look at the shimmy down the wicket, getting to the pitch, full flourish of the bat, and off it went. Very, very good batting from both the batters. Looking very threatening, very ominous, this partnership by India. 36 of 23. Lots of concerns for the Sri Lankan bowlers and fielders. Trying different things, chops that away. Well done. That's the support you need.
Good piece of fielding. The last innings that Trisha got some runs, her feature to me was a cutting. She hit a couple of really good cut shots that went to the boundary. In today's efforts, it's down the ground so far. It's another cut shot and well fielded. But I have to say, Shamim, this is still in the power play, so there's only 2 fielders allowed out of that 30-yard circle. So we might see a little bit more manoeuvring in the ball after this 6th over.
Backs away, finds that gap in the covers, places it to a nicety. Chase on, just dragging it back. I think she's done well. A lot of commitment shown. The umpire might just want to have a look at that. We come to the end of the over. Yeah, there's going to be a boundary check here. Shati Razaka Jesse just indicating to the third umpire. Have a quick look.
Tell you what, that was a very good sprint, whoever that was running. Look at that. Good momentum and effort. No problem there. She's got the fingers just before the rope and hauled it back to her. Yeah, Nanya Carter, well done, girl. You've done really well there. You've saved a run.
And every run saved can just build up that little bit of extra bits of confidence. So it's going to be runs, runs, runs. End of the power play, 43 for 2.
Ah, Christmas, a peaceful period. Time to pause and reflect. Time to come together. But it's not time for that yet.
These two teams will not give each other anything.
Giving will have to wait. Get something for yourself.
Florian Wirtz. Wow!
Fulfill your wishes and make it a magical Christmas now.
Oh, that's stunning. That's incredible.
Bayern 04 Leverkusen versus SC Freiburg.
Only on Sony Sports Network.
Because it's another big match coming. End of the power play. More protection in the deep. Have a look at the highlights.
Well, this really was a game of two halves, really. The first couple of overs belonged to the bowling team with 2 wickets. And then after that, it was just one way with the Indian batters getting a lot of runs. But a beautiful shot through the covers. Another one through the... That was in the air a little bit. My heart was in the mouth when I saw that one. But here's a couple of lusty blows that has provided the basis to get the 43 runs in the power play. It wasn't looking that great early, but they've done really well, and that's the class of the Indian girls.
Hiruni Hansika will have to show her wares. 3 wickets so far. Touch expensive compared to some of the others. Oh, drifting down leg. Can ill afford to do that?
That's a little careless, Shamim. Yeah, off-break bowler. You have the field that's spread out for you and then just letting it slide. You have to bowl that one again. You're hoping that that 7th delivery doesn't get hit for a boundary.
You're hoping the second one doesn't. It's been hit into the deep.
Well, you're right. You don't want to give any boundaries, but what sometimes can happen when you bowl a wide or a no ball, then that extra ball goes there, you feel really bad.
I see what you mean, coach. Yeah, don't want to bowl those extra deliveries. Yeah, sometimes it works the other way too. You might get a wicket. There's the vagaries of the game.
Well, that's right. As a coach, I'm just sitting here thinking, don't go for a boundary in that 7th or 8th ball and they get a wicket. Well done, well done.
If you're the coach of the bowling side, you're go and get a wicket in that last ball. It's 2 different emotions. Well, pick that up and it's going to just carry through to the boundary quite comfortably.
What has she done here, Trisha? Right, 6, 6, that's 12. This one's a 4, that's 16. So very much, Trisha, you are dealing in boundaries. And long may that continue if you are an Indian supporter.
Well, the Sri Lankans will be very, very annoyed. You see the keeper really chattering behind, telling the bowler to keep on line, outside the line of the off stump. Giving away freebies, that's better. Just back of a length, but does well to back away and use the depth of the crease.
And that's another example of a trademark cut shot. Finding the gap and with reasonable power too. Beat the fielder and then was swept up by the long cover boundary fielder for just the single. But good shot.
Desperately need a breakthrough here, the Sri Lankans. These two are looking very dangerous. Bowls it wide. That's not going to do. This makes it easy for the batter to reach it and play it into the deep for a comfortable single.
It's easy on the eye, isn't it, Shamim? That shot, gee, I'm watching it and I think, my goodness, she's just blessed with a lot of talent and skill. The way she played that particular ball through the offside. Good play, Kamalini, and she's got a bright future, I would reckon.
It's coming from both ends. Delectable shots, powerful shots. That's cut pretty hard. Chase on, another good piece of fielding in the deep. The commitment shown here by the Sri Lankan fielders has been exemplary.
Have a look at this shot. Now, this is very... It's a no ball. Sadly, that's going to have to be rebowled, and it's a free hit. But I was going to talk about this shot. My goodness, if you are wanting to know how to play a back cut properly, have a look at this replay when it comes up. What a brilliant exponent of that cut shot. Just like she did the other day when she got a 50. Okay, they're going to... Oh, that's well fielded. That's well inside the boundary. But if they check in the boundary, that's going to be okay. Look at this. No problem. But
that was way inside the ropes. Well, whatever, we carry on. It's the free hit. How does she come back? She will be under extreme pressure, the bowler. Hiruni must bowl a peach because they're going to swing the bats. The batter is going to swing her bat. Not quite. Good comeback. And a dot ball. That is absolutely top class. And that completes over number 7. It's 53 for 2.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
Well, they have things under control, but it is that match between Bangladesh and Nepal that is going to be worrisome for both teams because of the weather conditions here.
Yes, and if you're Nepal, you're hoping it'll rain. I mean, sorry, Bangladesh, because your net run rate is higher, so therefore it goes through.
They want to play the match and win it. That's how you want to go, because you want to take something forward. A little bit of under pressure sort of experience going into the finals, always good for you.
That's correct. Obviously, Shamim, I agree with you wholeheartedly. You need to play and get there in the right way.
And these Sri Lankan girls not really bowling tidily. A lot of wides down the leg side.
And now it's only 46 to win. A lot of balls in which to do it. It's going to be a bit of an easy task now.
That's good. Just I think just having a quick look at that one. Thought about going for it, then let it go. But you've got to consider the fact that there is the World Cup in Malaysia coming up in January. I think it's 14th. It's starting. So even if you go on to lose the match, you want to take something out of it. Little bits here and there that will encourage them and all go well for the future.
Yeah, the point is you have to play, don't you? You got to play. The more you play, the better you get. And when you play and often enough, like Kamalini does, that last shot, that went really quickly to long off. What a off drive that was. Really, this girl's really seeing it well and batting beautifully.
That's thumped away over the top, and not quite sure if it's dropped inside or over the ropes, but I think it's a boundary. But the umpires might just have another quick look at that one. But the flourish and the comfort with which was played was, well, the fielder in the deep has just indicated it's a 6, which is good. These days, you don't see fielders supporting the umpires.
Well, we got the benefit here, and we can see it again. That's just cleared the rope. Well done, whoever that was signalling 6. You've got to always help the umpire. And now it's Trisha again. Another 6. That's 3.
Yeah, really belligerent mood she is in. Just going back to that little thing these days with professionalism, the players, close catches. Has it dropped in front of you when you're taking the catch? It's good to see the sporting spirit of that girl in the deep. Really appreciate that. And more wides.
And Shami, I think this will be another early finish. And when you looked at that points table before, it was only 5 for India, but they really, that rain disrupted their win ratio. They easily could have got a win and bumped up to 6. So to me, they are the form team. They're probably the best team in this competition.
Had to reach for that one, overcompensating now. The umpire initially thought you might just give it as a wide, decided, no, 8 overs done. India are 62 for 2.
The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup, live on 10 Cricket.
UFC Fight O'Clock. Only on Sony Sports Network.
India 61 for 2 in 8 overs. Looking really good. The strike rates amongst
Contingent is G. Kamalini and G. Trisha.
That's firmly hit down the ground. But the bowler has done well, and so has the fielder in the deep. Excellent save, maybe, if she has kept away from the ropes.
Danced down the track and hit it powerfully along the carpet, straight as an arrow. Good fielding in the deep to ensure that a boundary was not conceded. Perhaps they will check for the boundary because it looked a bit on the fielding side's favor. There is a bit of a hold up there. A look at that save in the deep by the fielder, scurrying over from long off.
From this angle, it does look like it's okay, but it will be the other angle near the rope. If we have, that will give the full picture. This is really good. Staying low, the ball was traveling really fast. Excellent technique there.
And good enterprise and intent shown, especially under the circumstances, because India are on the ascendants. So it's very good to see Rashmika Sivandi put her body on the line and keep the ball in play.
And this is what Sri Lanka has shown. They have shown glimpses of a lot of potential, promise. But then some. Look at that. Another excellent field there. At least 3 runs saved. It could have been a boundary.
Hirani this time, shirt number 7, patrolling the point region. Got her fingertips to that rocket, powerfully hit cut shot. Was able to intercept just in time. India now just 37 runs away of 70 balls.
That's well bowled. But the running has been really attacking from India. These two batters, they've played together. There's a lot of trust between them. And they have been very smooth with their running.
G. Kamalini, what a tournament is she having? 44 unbeaten in the first game. Is coming off a prolific home season. Indian women's cricket has historically produced a lot of batting prodigies.
That's played in the gap. It has good power and timing behind that one, and it will race away to the boundary.
Here we have 2 young batting prodigies shepherding India in this chase. Nicely cut away by G. Trisha and told the fielders, save your legs, because the ball has got enough on it to race to the boundary.
And sometimes your own batting, your own team's think tank can really pump you up. Trisha, who was demoted down the order to give other people a chance, is definitely looked more aggressive.
Yeah, she's kind of telling the think tank, you know what, I'll show you what I've got. Put me in the middle order, I'll score runs, make me open, I'll deliver the goods again.
And there she goes again. There is a fielder there, and this time the result would be different. It is a catch. Important wicket for Sri Lanka.
It looked like G. Trisha had gotten all of it, but ended up holding straight to the fielder at long on. She will have to depart from the looks of it for 32 runs. It was flighted up by Chamudi, Rashmika Sivandi in the deep. And look at that celebration. Twirling of the hips. And why not? Chamudi has a wicket to her name. She's been amongst the wickets. And G. Trisha departs for 32. India 68 for 3.
A new season of the Champions League. With more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new Kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League.
Maliban Digestive. Crunchy goodness for hunger on the go.
Only on Sony Sports Network.
And this was the last wicket.
Tonked it off the front foot, but found the fielder stationed there. It's good to see the Sri Lankan players enjoy themselves despite what seems like an inevitable loss loading. They will well and truly be knocked out of the race to the finals. And India, on the contrary, will have sealed theirs if they go on to win this one. Nikki Prasad, who hit the winning runs against Bangladesh during her unbeaten 22, in the middle now. She'll join forces with G. Kamalini, who's made heads turn on the Indian domestic circuit.
That remains in the line. Umpire deciding it's a legal delivery.
And it's Sashini Gimani back in action. Has got a bit of a Paul Adams-like action. Ambidextrous. But she's bowling with her left arm today.
Yeah, there's a lot of promise and potential in the Sri Lankan dugout, and I do feel they have not played to their potential. While the Indian team, that is a totally different story altogether. They have shown the promise, they have expressed themselves fully.
They call Sashini Gimani the mystery bowler from Mamodara, 16 years of age, was part of Sri Lanka's title-winning Asia Cup squad that defeated India in the final.
And that was half an opportunity there. And the Sri Lankan fielding at the boundary has been really good.
Excellent from Dahami once again. She has been kept busy in the deep. This time around too, saved what looked like an inevitable boundary. A look at that action, Sana. Former South African men's wrist spinner, Paul Adams, must be wanting to take a look at this young
Absolutely,
player from
and
Sri
there's a
Lanka.
chance if there's a direct hit. But not this time. Shashni, she has looked really good.
What's interesting is she also uses both her arms, is very adept and dexterous with both arms as far as her throwing goes. That sneaky run up, and look at that action. Not usual, not something you see in women's cricket often.
Another upper shot, and because she delivers it from a very low point, there's hardly anything for the batter to work with. Not easy to use their feet. Generally on a wrist spinner, you have more time, but her release point is quite low.
She's already played for the Sri Lanka senior side, is the youngest Sri Lankan woman to play T20Is.
Another upper shot, and once again deceived the batter, Nikki Prasad. No, I'm sorry, it's G. Kamalini, who has been deceived totally by the bowler.
The mystery bowler from Mamodara injecting the magic moment, and looks like the batter is off her way. It was the left-hander, G. Kamalini, spooned the catch straight to the fielder at cover, and it was the captain, Manudi Nayanakara, making no mistakes whatsoever. G. Kamalini has to go for 28 runs as India lose their fourth wicket for just 72 runs.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
A new season of the Champions League with more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
And Mbappe puts it into the back of the net. Oh, with another goal!
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new Kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network. The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup. Final 22nd December live on 10 Cricket.
UFC Fight O'Clock. Sony Sports Network.
Ah, Christmas. A peaceful period. Time to pause and reflect. Time to come together. But it's not time for that yet.
These two teams will not give each other anything.
Giving will have to wait. Get something for yourself.
Florian Wirtz. Wow!
Fulfill your wishes and make it a magical Christmas now.
Oh, that's stunning. That's incredible.
Bayern 04 Leverkusen versus SC Freiburg.
Only on Sony Sports Network.
And even there was a wicket on the last delivery. India still in the driving seat. 72 for 4 in 10. Well led by, in the batting department, G. Kamalini and Trisha, 28 and 32. But what's important for Sri Lanka, 2 new batters on the crease.
The Sri Lankan bowlers have done well to challenge this very potent Indian batting lineup.
The single to proceed for Nikki Prasad. And the reason why the new batter is here is the last wicket. Sashini with the low release point. We have seen some uppish shots before that, this time deceiving Kamalini. Incoming batter Bhavika, keeping wickets for India today.
First outing for her with the bat.
And looks good, off the mark with a single. "25 runs required of 58 deliveries for India." And what India has done really well with the batting is they've chased targets so quickly. And during the drinks break, we also saw their batting coach coming in, Apurva Desai. We always see the batting coach in the batting innings, and whenever there's a bowling, when they're fielding, in the mid-break, there's always the bowling coach coming. That's Apurva Desai talking to the players, talking about the importance of Duckworth Lewis. We saw that paper coming out because they lost wicket on the last ball. And that looked close. That looked really close. Another wicket for Sri Lanka. This match is turning once again.
The Sri Lankan bowlers are making India work very, very hard in this 99-run chase. Chamudi has her 3rd wicket from the looks of it, and she's gotten the big fish. Nikki Prasad, the captain, caught plumb on her pads. Up went the finger from Shatira Jakir Jesse. Chamudi is elated. Captain Nikki Prasad has to go back to the hut for just 3 runs, and India slumped to 74 for 5.
The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup. Final 22nd December, live on 10 Cricket.
UFC Fight O'Clock. Only on Sony Sports Network.
And thanks to the Sri Lankan bowlers, now we will be watching some more of Indian batters. Mithila Vinod for the first time in the centre as well. They have not lost more than 2 to 3 wickets, but Sri Lanka is making them work hard. Another good delivery to finish off the 11th over. India 74 for 5.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network.
looked really dominating, but these 99 runs, Sri Lanka are making them work really hard.
Sashini Gimhani to continue from over the wicket. She looks to have triggered a bit of a collapse here with that wicket of G. Kamalini, one of their most prolific batters.
And again, an upper shot, outside edge. There will be a couple of runs. Indians are really good with the running between the wickets.
Excellent start from this young ambidextrous wrist spinner, Sashini Gimhani. Happens to be the youngest Sri Lankan to play women's T20Is at just 15 years and 144 days.
And it has been difficult for batters to really read her. Anisha, she has a very difficult action to read. The release point is a bit low, but then she's very quick through the action. So it can slide a little bit and doesn't give a lot of flight for batters to come down the track. Look at that once more.
Sri Lanka senior women's captain, the legendary Chamari Athapattu, calls her a rare breed, and her action God-given, which is why she kind of was fast-tracked through the age group ranks and slotted into the senior side.
And that's pitched up, played really fine this time. It will have the legs to go to the boundary.
The edge brings a boundary, should inject some relief in the Indian cap. Has been a lot of activity in the past few overs. Dug it out, did Bhavika Ahire, batting for the first time in this tournament.
And that's also credit to Chamari Athapattu as well. She has really led Sri Lanka firstly on her own and then groomed so many youngsters from the under-19 as well. Vishmi Gurunaratne opens with her, and now you can watch this young spinner as well. That would be another dot to finish the over after 12 overs. India 80 for 5.
The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup. Final 22nd December, live on 10 Cricket.
$80 for 5, India just had the jitters there. You look at the DLS score that you can see on the scoreboard, that shows 63. So if rain were to intervene right here, right now, then India ahead of that DLS par score. The crowd cover is building up. But we hope that there shouldn't be an interruption in this match. Dev Watmore joins me in the commentary box. Warm welcome.
Thank you, Raman. It's only 19 runs to win from 48 deliveries. So 8 big overs left just to get 19 runs.
Well, these two spinners did an exceedingly good job. Chamudi and then especially Sashini Gimhani. Now, of course, we've got Pramudi, the off-spinner, operating. Width on offer, but well fielded in the covers. This surface is affording some purchase to the spinners.
That certainly did, didn't it? It stopped and turned, and also was the cause of the captain getting out the previous couple of overs.
Unable to pierce the infield, and you could hear the grunt of unhappiness from Mithila Vinod. The ball was there to be hit. Unfortunately, she was not able to place it in the gap.
Yeah, when it's ball stopping and turning, it's not all that easy to time. And it's not coming on, so yeah, there's a little bit of a test going on.
Oh, this time extra turn. That's why it came off the inside edge. Well, the spinner is encouraging the batter to try and play away from the body.
And that was a little fuller as well, wasn't it? So have a look at this. It's fuller of length, and that was not a very good shot. She was trying to play well away from her body.
Pressure building up. And the release shot comes. Luckily over the infield. And this might run away for 4. It does. There was a valiant chase given. But in the end, Mithila will get off the mark with those 4 runs.
What do you think? It was convincing? I'm not sure that was a very convincing shot. Enough momentum on the bat. The downswing was committed. There we go. And it was intention to go up and over, I guess. But I tell you, that was not quite convincing. But it spun viciously and had overspin. Was always going to be 4. So now it's only 15 runs to win.
And finally, Mithila's off the mark. I think she was feeling the pressure of not being able to get off the mark. Now a misfield will allow more runs. This should be another 4. And it will be back-to-back boundaries that eases the pressure of Mithila Vinod. And it also will end over number 13. India are 88 for 5.
With more teams, more games in the competition, but the same excitement.
And Mbappe puts it into the back of the net. Oh, with another goal!
With Europe's biggest football clubs battling it out, who will be crowned the new Kings of Europe? Watch the UEFA Champions League live only on the Sony Sports Network.
UFC Fight O'Clock. Only on Sony Sports Network.
Could have been stopped, but it was the speed in which the ball raced off the bat that enabled it to get through. So well done, Bhavika. And it's now, Shamim, only 11 runs required.
Yeah, just 11. There was a bit of a stutter a couple of overs back, but they've brought it back into line. Indian batters have shown their wow! As I speak, what about that? A blinder taken there. Try to hit it over the top, straight to her, but it was difficult catch to take.
Shall we say a tracer bullet? It was hit really, really hard. And I'm very pleased because the recipient of that wicket was the left arm tweaker, who Shashimi, getting that her second wicket, and that went really quickly, and what a catch. These things make a difference.
Sure do. What about that take? And another wicket, another stutter. Bhavika Are gone for 7. It's 88 for 6.
Watch Australian Open. Starts Sunday, 12th January, live on Sony Sports Network. The best teams will lock horns to be the champions of Asia in the Women's Under-19 Asia Cup. Final 22nd December, live on 10 Cricket.
From this particular bowler, but to me, she is the wicket taker. So a good tactic would be keep her away, keep Shashini away from any more of the wickets column, and I think they're going to be okay.
Guess spare a thought for Sri Lanka. What they would have done, what about that? Beat the bat. Got the tails up, little nervy.
It is nervy, and you just begin to wonder if they had another 10 or 15 runs. Look at that, there's that wicket, and a hard hit drive that was taken beautifully by short cover. Look at that, pushed her back.
A blinder, Asini, that was traveling at a rate of knots. I like the spirit of the Sri Lankan fielders. They're always smiling, they're giving their best. Such a good mindset to have in this game.
Yeah, they've always been enthusiastic, but I'm seeing an exceptional talent here. She's a really good potential for the senior team. Shashini, she's bowled really well today.
They must be pondering another 20 runs. Things could have been different, but I tell you what, another wicket and the cat will be amongst the pigeons, that's for sure. Oh, beauty. 3-dot ball, superb stuff.
Tell you, she's the wicket taker. You've got to stop her taking a wicket. Now, there's only one ball left because she is a beauty, this girl.
No runs yet in this 14th over and a wicket. What a turnaround. Short, kept low, toned it. It's a wicket maiden. The 14th over, 88 for 6. Lost a couple of wickets early, but recovered through some good batting by Kamlini and Trisha. And when they were there, it seemed that India were going to cruise this one. But then, it's a funny old game, isn't it?
I'd be putting Shashini's name on that team sheet. Number one. The first thing I do, I'd put Shashini's name on that team sheet.
Rashmika now needs to replicate in Shashini in the previous over. Just keep it tight. Build up the pressure. Oh, yeah, that slipped out of her fingers. That's going to be a no ball. That's the last thing you wanted.
Everything happens with Rashmika. She's to me, is also a really good talent. She's got enough pace and also a good hand-to-header. Unfortunately, it was a slip, not intentional. She took a good catch around the boundary at long on. Also stopped a very good one, went straight. That was 2 wides. Yeah.
Full toss, swung around, didn't quite make the requisite contact. Maybe got away with just the 1 run on that occasion.
Yeah, another full toss. I wonder if she's gone for that Yorker ball again. But certainly the one before was a shocker by anyone's standards.
Taking fresh guard, just the power score is 73-90 they've got for 6 India. So they're all right even if the rains come. The ground staff are on the move, which is not a good thing. They're getting ready to bring on the covers.
Yeah, when they start doing that, you know, they're the locals. They know what's going on. So hopefully we'll get a finish in this game.
Oh, didn't know very much about that. Got the inside part of the bat, toned it, squirted away to find leg. Those groundsmen, most of them are not locals. Most of them are Bangladeshi.
But they live here? They were drafted in, were they?
Well, they've been here for a while. Threatening clouds. But I just hope it stays away.
Yeah, good boys. They deserve all the pats on the back. They've done a sterling job over the last week.
It's been very untidy over from the bowler. Just when you needed to continue with that good work done in the previous over, she's just given it away in favor of the Indians.
Seems like she's a bit over-aroused, isn't she? Like she really is keen and enthusiastic, but you can go past that point, that optimal arousal level, and she's, I think, just gone past it.
Just striving for the Yorker, overcompensating, getting it almost a low full toss and easy, very easy to put away.
That's the 3rd full toss. The first one was a double wide that had to be bowled again, and a free hit. But I tell you what, these full tosses are not. Have a look at the juicy ankle height full toss, shin height, easy to put away. Sadly, now we only need 3 runs.
3 of 33, very relaxed looking Indian camp, understandably. Bowls it wide and gets a wide from the umpire. Gets closer, just a couple of runs left to finish it off and play in the finals.
She hasn't covered herself in glory in this particular over, but she is a very good player. And it's swung away as well and just went on the other side of that blue line for the umpire. So that was not a difficult one for ball to be called.
Oh, no. Oh, she's absolutely... I mean, the pressure's got to her, the bowler.
It's just not coming out of the hand at all on that particular delivery. Tried to overcompensate, almost went to put it there instead of just bowl it. Come on, Rashmika, just bowl it through. Get it to the keeper's gloves. Look at that keeper's gloves. Get it in there.
When you needed to get the runs, there are 10 runs already, and we're only in the third delivery. 3 wides and a no ball. Nice little tuck away. Calls for a run, sent back wisely. Well, at least some relief for Rashmika after a very erratic over. 98 for 6. The scores are level. Just that single run needed. Pensive look for the Sri Lankan think tank. And the rains are just about coming. They need to get the run. And there it is. The winning run with the boundary. India move on to the final with an emphatic performance here. And all credit to these two. Just kept their cool. Mithila in particular, making sure that they go through to the finals.
Undefeated too, so they did a very good job in the end to see the home team, the Indian team, win the game with 4 wickets in hand. And they earn their place to come back here on Sunday.
Didn't make it too easy for them. Credit must be given to Sri Lankan girls for making a fight of it.
Oh, surely. And